So I'm excited to introduce you to our very first comic. Our very first comic is a mystery writer. She writes cozy mysteries. She is actually, we're honored, an award-winning mystery novel author, and just recently got a great award from a local program. So let's give it up for Kathy Krevat.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the food bank. I think you guys are all awesome. I'm Kathy Krevat, and as you can see from, I don't know, everything about me, I am middle-aged, and actually, that wasn't where you were supposed to be laughing. The odds of me making it to 100, are pretty slim. So really, I am 3/4 aged. Now you can laugh. So let me explain what that means. So when I was in my 20s, I went to discos, not clubs. I was old enough to go to discos. I went out at 11 o'clock at night, came home at 4 in the morning. Now I'm asleep by 9:30, 3/4 age.
Yep.
You know how Costco has special pandemic hours for seniors? I'm not old enough to qualify, but if I went in, no one's going to card me. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but your ears continue to grow your entire life. So if you see people in their 90s, sometimes they have really big ears. So I'm getting to that stage where my ear to head ratio is getting a little out of whack. That's 3/4 aged. So even my computer knows that I'm 3/4 aged. I saw my niece's Facebook page. She was showing me an ad for birth control that lasts 5 years, which cool, but I didn't even know about that. And so I realized the problem is targeted ads. So she gets an ad for birth control. I get an ad for Miralax. So she gets an ad for, I don't know, a cure for hangovers. I got an ad for a cure for gout. Oldest sounding disease ever. Yeah. She actually got an ad for mountain climbing equipment. I got one for a freaking Zinger mobility scooter. Yeah. The computer might be a little off there. I don't know. One thing I can't figure out about women my age are cougars, because, a cougar, woman, middle-aged woman that goes after younger men. First of all, it sounds exhausting. But second of all, I stopped trying to be sexy 2 decades ago. Life is so much easier when you're not worried about weight or waistline or longevity. I actually remember the first time I didn't hold in my stomach. And it's life-changing, let me tell you. I was 29 and I was pregnant. So that means, yes, from the time I was a teenager through my whole 20s, I held in my stomach. So I want all of you to hold in your stomach now. See how long you can do it. I did it for a decade and a half. So this getting older stuff, it's really hard, mostly because we don't know what's going to happen. So, when I was pregnant, there was this book that said what to expect when you're expecting. I think someone's got to write what to expect when you turn 50.
Definitely.
It'll be so helpful. Yeah, number 1, ankles. Yeah, it's going to be, sometimes you're going to wake up and your ankles are going to hurt every day. Chapter 2, knees. Yeah. Your knees are gonna see all the attention that your ankles are getting, warm compresses and cold compresses. And they're gonna say, hold my beer, I'm gonna show her what pain really feels like. Chapter 3. Memory. Chapter 3. So since the pandemic started, I get too nervous to walk outside. So I get on my treadmill every day, and I hadn't been on it for many years. So I was really excited that it worked. The only problem is that it has this whining sound. So it's complaining about me every time. So, it might be saying, hey, you should lose a few. Yeah, it might just have like aches and pains like I do every day. I don't know. Or actually, what if it thought it was retired? And here I am like dragging it off the treadmill equivalent of a golf course, Then I figured out, it's 3/4 aged. I'm just going to leave you with one last thing for all you young folks out there. All are going to continue to learn more about yourself, even when you're 3/4 aged. Just figured out, I'm about to turn 60. Just figured out that I have attention deficit disorder. Yeah, and it explains so much. It explains so much. It's really interesting how I found out. A friend was diagnosed and she gave me this book, and there's a quiz at the beginning of the book. So I started reading it. So, the first question, how often do you have difficulty completing complex tasks? Rarely. Sometimes. Often. I had to create my own category. Always. Question number 2. How often do you have difficulty concentrating on what people are saying? So it depends how long they're talking, but that's very often. So, yeah. Number 3, how often do you misplace your keys? And I was like, hey, that's a bit specific. I felt with that one. So, yeah. So you're like, pretty, crazy to figure this out so late in life. I have attention deficit disorder. So instead of reading the book and going on and learning about the techniques for dealing with it, I put it down and I wrote this. So, I told my husband, and he was not surprised, but I don't remember what he said because I have difficulty concentrating. I told my sister, and she said, "No shit, Sherlock." But it's not all bad. If I leave the lights on, now I can just say, oops, I have ADD. If I mess up a recipe that I've done 1,000 times, ADD. If I forget my sister's birthday. Thank you, I'm Kathy Krevat.
Good job.